Hi, thanks for watching again. This time we're basically just going to have a couple of the highway self-driving videos playing in the background while I tell you a bit more about the Queensland supercharge or electric highway they call it that is now active. I wanted to go through a few details about the highway and how the highway driving that we're watching and how they're gathering data, and I will also go back to just giving you a bit more detail about how my green car is not intending to compete with the Tesla network, but just basically to make sure that we've got the cars and the ability to run the cars by the time it's a reality. So let me get into a few little things as an overview. The reason I'm using these American videos of the Model 3 left-hand drive is that the deposits we've paid for our right-hand drive are sitting there in the queue, but they haven't produced any right-hand drive for me to make videos like this in the Australian market. So this is what we've got. Hopefully the owners of these videos, or the producers, or whatever you want to call the content creators, are okay with me showing other people the quality of video that they've made. I'll just quickly scroll down here so you can see who each of these people are if you want to look at more of their things. Both pretty good content creators from what I've seen. I've watched about 30 hours of YouTube videos, and these guys seem to put out useful things, not just more of the same. So anyway, you'll see probably some of the reasons that I picked these videos is you'll see from this is this section here on this one. Obviously you'll see how it actually draws each of the cars real time, so I would suggest this is probably just the hardware 2.5 given the age of this video, but he may have hardware 3.0 running that. I'm not privy to the type of information I need to be able to tell you at a glance, but either way the cars, as you can see there, are driving themselves at high speed without anyone touching anything. This little thing here that you might see flashing across there, that blue, you'll see that's a little warning, as I understand it from watching these videos, a little warning that you get when it's wanting you to basically put your hand back on the wheel for safety's sake, or really more for legal sake. As is fairly obvious to most people sort of keeping their eye on this thing, the self-driving capabilities seem to be basically here, and we're really entering into the test phase as opposed to the programming or development phase, I guess, of the rollout of full self-drive. The excuse me. The difference between hardware 2.5 and hardware 3.0 in the Model 3, as I understand, and again, don't work for Tesla, don't know any inside secrets, just what I've seen on the internet, is more than likely just to keep track and keep recording capabilities of all the cameras. So obviously everything can always record and can always be double redundant on the car, like a black box on an airplane. If it does kill someone, it's you want to make sure that every possible angle was recorded and all that sort of thing. So yeah, my guess is the upgraded computer is probably primarily to support that recording capability and activate the recording of the internal camera, and obviously make sure that the appropriate amount of compression and streaming can be sent up to Tesla when the cars are operating without anyone at the wheel, so to speak. I don't know whether they have any or all of this in the terms and conditions. Again, I've got my deposit down but haven't got my vehicle yet, so I can't tell you firsthand on that side of things, but it would stand to logic's sake that they will be keeping track of how much time people aren't touching the wheel, and quite possibly a double blind already is in place from what I've seen on the web videos, where you don't actually have to touch the wheel for an hour at a time, because there's a fault, so to speak, and they'll be recording those miles against proof that they are safer than people as far as the cars protecting themselves and protecting the other people around them. You may have seen on other video reviews that the cars already on autopilot respond to... I wonder if we're still recording. Something just happened weird on my screen. Let me just stop and check. Looks like we're good. Yeah, so the cars already respond to indicators of other cars. So if you're on a highway like these videos, it will actually let in other cars ahead of you, and be respectful on the road and all those sorts of things that you would expect from a good little robot. Anyway, that's the nutshell of where we're up to with the self-drive. where we're up to with the computers and the internal camera. I don't think there's really anything else I wanted to cover on that side of things. Again, the content owners of any of these videos, if they don't want their video here, I'm more than happy to mask that section of the screen. Hopefully they'll be okay with it, because again, we just don't have a choice in Australia, and not everyone, no offense, wants to listen to an American person talking about their fabulous new car. They might prefer me with my dull voice. Anyway, getting back to that, so I've got YouTube copyright. Yeah, as I said, no, I'm not planning on putting any ads at all on this channel, so yeah, I won't be profiting from showing these videos. So hopefully, again, everyone's satisfied. If not, again, I'll remove the video or mask the screen, whatever anyone asks for. As far as the quality of these videos and me coughing, you'll have to deal with it. Sorry about that. Just getting over something. I will try to remake as many of these as I can when my voice is in better shape, but as we've just launched the basically our coin offering pre-orders, I thought it important to get some of the key points explained ASAP. So I'll go through and explain what my notes to myself are. So I've covered the screen recording because it's fast and easy and might not look the best, but could be worse. The YouTube copyright, if anyone's got a problem, I'll get rid of it. The fact that I'm using the AU revoicing the in Australian, the M3 videos, because that's all we've got to, we don't have any cars here to use, is what I'm trying to say. Tesla not telling you to invest yet. So My Green Car is telling you to invest in a Tesla because you'll make money out of it. Tesla's not doing that yet because they can't keep up with the current demand, let alone the fact that, you know, demand will go up once everyone realizes that their cars make money as opposed to cost money, which is, yeah, first time in history that's happened, obviously. TN, Tesla Network. So soon, who knows when exactly, but almost everyone's thinking that it's, you know, within the next 2 years, give or take. It's probably in Australia more like 3 or 4, but, you know, at the end of the day, cars joining the Tesla network, going and driving around as a taxi while you're at work is very much around the corner, not very much down the track. Non-compete, so again, our point isn't to compete with the Tesla network. They're going to have that very well worked out. Our point is trying to make sure that we've got the cars on the road to support it. So if you go through our website and look at how you can invest in basically using My Green Car and or us helping you purchase the vehicle so that there's more of them available for the network, it should make sense. Watch the videos. If you don't want to make $104,000, don't watch the videos. If you do watch the videos. Pretty simple. The NUC PC upgrade we've covered with the 3.0. The going back to the home page so that you're not looking at my draft pages in the background as we've done. The 3 terabyte redundant hard drives. Again, that's just a, you know, when we started My Green Car in 2015, what we assumed we would probably need hardware-wise by the time that we're fully self-driving was something along those sort of 3 terabytes of storage with at least 3 terabytes of backup, if anything, you know, like a black box. If anything goes down, you've got a backup. So I assume that's part of what's in hardware 3.0, but you'll have to ask Elon what exactly he's put in there. Barely legal. So we're talking about these driving tests. As I said, I would suggest in lots of places what they're already doing may or may not be legal. I personally think it's the only way forward, and I fully support whatever they're doing. If they're doing something that isn't correct, then, well, whatever. What I'm trying to say is I'm not accusing them of doing anything wrong, but things like the amount of videos that show people not touching the wheel for a long period of time, that could be a fault, in air quotes, to gather extra data on how much safer the cars are driving themselves than people, is, again, something you can draw your own conclusions about. 150 kilometers an hour. Yeah, the cars go fast, so yeah, you want to make sure that you've done a lot of road testing before you let every one of them go at unlimited speed everywhere. But, you know, hopefully within, you know, I've got a 7-year-old girl, but hopefully before she turns 12 or 13, I won't have to worry about her getting a license, because yeah, she'll just jump in the car and it'll take her wherever at least 1.5 times the speed of what we're doing, and much more safely. So that's what I see as inevitable. Software profit. So again, one of the other videos I made, I explained how I believe that Tesla will remain the front runner for at least 10 years from this point. And if you look at history, obviously the Ford Model T in particular, it's, even if there's other people trying to do it, if you're doing it best, you're just going to win. I believe the way they've set up their business model is, and again, this is partly speculation, partly research, that they are producing a better car than anyone else could for the money, because they're not making money off the car, they're making money off the software. So you add your autopilots and you add your premium features, and that's probably where the bulk, if not all, of their money is. And or, you know, it might not even be there. They might actually need this Tesla network to actually go live before they actually make profit. Either way, I don't doubt that it's going to happen, i.e. everything will work and they'll make profit. Internal camera and profit. I've already covered profit. What are we talking about, the internal camera? Yeah, so as other videos have pointed out, the internal camera is there. It's not currently accessible to anyone's ability to find out, but it's there so that your car will be able to keep an eye on who's in it. Chances are Tesla will be able to keep an eye on who's in it too if there's any incidents or reported incidents. Again, probably terms and conditions will be upgraded before that's all turned on. I'm sure they'll do all that by the book, but that's kind of where we're up to. More demand, we've covered that. FSD, full self-drive, before 15 million cars. Yeah, so basically, just to make the point that if Tesla was able to send 15 million cars to Australia, which is probably about how many we've got, I haven't actually looked it up, before they turned on full self-drive, then, you know, your ability to profit from them may not be as high as I'm stating, but my suggestion is that they will be well short of that, considering the global demand and considering their ability to produce. When they open up the China factory, their ability to produce will go up, but I believe they'll extend to other markets, again, to keep their demand higher than their production. It's all pretty simple. Why China will not win? So the China that I'm referring to there versus the China where Tesla's manufacturing, what I mean is there's plenty of electric vehicles companies starting up in China. I don't think they'll win as far as being a better product. They might sell more cars to personal users, but I don't believe selling cars to people is where the EV industry is heading. So that's the whole point of my green car, and hopefully people will get it once they understand it. And if they don't, then yeah, that's fine. I only need about a low percentage of the population to see it the way that I do for it to all pan out. Queensland electric highway. So yeah, excuse my notes, things like, you know, highway being HI and HW and whatever I've got here. Basically, the Queensland electric highway for our stage 1 launch is already, as far as I can see, completely good. When I say that in those words, it's not just because I want to use poor English, it's because there's a lot of information saying it's a bit unreliable and things weren't working, and then they were, and they took a while to fix or whatever. But I think essentially where we're at now, everything should be pretty good from this point forward, and at the end of the day, Tesla superchargers will be there probably before your cars are anyway, so I wouldn't be stressing too much about the charging capabilities. As far as limitations on chargers, and one thing that I've heard a bit of conflicting information about is how the destination chargers work with Tesla. So anyone who's interested in that may want to consider how many other options there are. PlugShare. So this shows all the different options within Australia. So there's lots of places you can fill up either for free or for cheap, or if it's on the Tesla destination charger, apparently you don't pay for it at this stage. However, I wouldn't be counting my chickens on that one, because if everyone's got a Model 3, by everyone I mean, you know, 1 in 100 people, whatever, then your businesses that have agreed to spend $2 an hour for people to park in front of their shop may change their mind about that being a good deal if it's being used 18 to 20 hours a day. So those are just a couple of things just to keep in the back of your mind. Don't expect any free lunches moving forward as far as power goes, but it's still, you know, even at the highest rate, it's something more like a quarter of what you spend on petrol or diesel, so it's never going to cost you more. And as I said, at the end of the day, if your car's bringing in profit, doesn't matter what the running cost is if you're still in profit. Tesla network figures that I've heard quoted is, I believe, 60 US cents per, I think I translated that to kilometers, it could have been miles. Either way, it's in the ballpark of what you need to make sure they're profitable as taxis, so to speak. They'll be cheap, but they still won't be, yeah, you're gonna make money. I think that's all I needed to cover in this particular video. I'll just go back to this page and double check there's nothing hiding there that I haven't been over with you. I think that's it, so I'll cover what I can in the other videos. I might call it a night now, because I don't think the quality's getting any better as I get more tired, so I'll speak to you in the next one. Thank you.